So I thought we were done with zombies news for today, but then Treyarch went and dropped a ton of new images, a whole blog post, and just so much stuff that we have to go over. And because of that, let's not waste any time and look at this right away. And what this starts off with is this tweet from Treyarch where it says, "Mark your calendars. The latest main quests will launch simultaneously with the Archon on August 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and 5 p.m. BST." And of course, confirms what we all thought, that the map and the Easter egg are dropping at the same time. Really good decision. If they delayed it like they did with Cold War, that would have been a terrible decision, so I'm glad they're doing this. Everything's dropping together. But the rest of this Twitter thread, we're not going to actually read through because the blog post goes over everything they talk about here, but in more detail, so we'll probably do that. But we will look at these images, the new images that we got here. And the first one is this one, and what this is, it's Kortifex and Dark Ether again, except a lot more animated. And the reason I think that's the case is because I think in the other image we see Kortifex, but he's not really like, I guess, doing anything. He's just going to be chilling there like during the map, but during the boss fight itself, he'll become animated and start moving around and attacking you and stuff like that. And I think that's what's going on here compared to the previous one, which is interesting. But the other thing I want to point out about this is these pods. And you know what? Actually, we get a better image of these pods in another image we got here, which is this one right here. And hopefully my face cam isn't blocking too much, but we see a more Kortifex that seems more animated. Thus, I think that this is during a boss fight also, because we see this blocking off an area right here that I do think that this is also during the boss fight. But again, coming back to these pods, they do look like kind of the things that we got in Shadows of Evil, but I don't know if they'll work the same because I don't know if they're a map feature, a side Easter egg feature, a main quest feature, or a boss fight feature. I don't know, but it's definitely one of those, which is all the possibilities. But either way, looks pretty cool. I think Kortifex is doing some sort of slime effect because there's like this debris in the air here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor going around it, but regardless, that's what I think is going on here. The last image we got of the boss fight is this here, which is Kortifex doing, like, he's doing a wipe attack. Let's be honest. There's going to be a wipe attack. That's what's going on here, and that's what's happening. So that's a whole thing, I guess. But regardless, now we can move on to the rest of the images. This one's new, but we're not going to look at it just yet because I first want to look at this one, because this one right here is like the same image we got earlier, except a different angle, which you would think like, oh, there's nothing new here. But then I realized something, like this boy right here, he transparent. We got some transparent ghostly zombies. Like all these zombies are like transparently ghostly, and I'm just like, wait, what? What's going on here? Is this like a main quest, side quest, like step or something like that? Like, I don't know. Or maybe it's just unique to this area. When you're in this area, the zombies are ghostly or something like that. But then I went back and looked at this image in the same area, but the zombies aren't ghostly. So to me, this has to be like a main quest or side quest thing. If I had to guess, I would guess that this is like something to do with actually making the pack-a-punch machine or fixing the pack-a-punch machine, because we see the pack-a-punch machine, my face cam's kind of covering it, but it's ghostly also. So maybe that's what's going on here. When you're actually getting the pack-a-punch machine, you have to like do something with these ghostly zombies. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The last image we got is nothing really unique. It's just kind of this, and yeah, I guess we can move on for that. But now we can get into the big thing, which is the whole blog post. And the first thing we get is an image that we actually already saw earlier today, except it's taller now. You can see more at the top and bottom. And I think the only main significance between the two images is that now you can see Kortifex's feet. I'm kidding, that's a bad joke. Either way, it's true. Now we can actually get into what this blog post says, but I will be skipping over large portions of it that I just don't think are necessary or kind of repeat themselves, if I'm being completely honest. But the first thing I want to start off with this quote where it says, "The construct. I've always hated that thing. It sits outside the natural order and its motives are unknown to any of us. I cannot be certain, but it always seems like the construct is trying to decide if life itself is worthy of existence for Kana the Last." So you may be questioning, hey, what the heck is a construct? What even is that? Well, I almost forgot, but then I remembered. It's actually this big old rock here, like this big old rock, which is cool. That's what that is. But something that I didn't even know or couldn't even remember, maybe I just forgot. I don't know what it is, but apparently the construct is like sentient and alive and could think its own thoughts. Wait, what? Like, I always knew the rock was really powerful, but I thought it was just like a artifact or something like that. I don't really know. I didn't think it had its own will or something like that, but apparently it does. So that's something new. I guess we learned something new from this article right away. But Regardless, now we know that. But either way, we could kind of move on to the important parts that they say here. And nothing really going on here. They're just telling us about things we already know and the launch time, so we can skip over that. And what I want to focus on are these two things right here. Early this year, the Vanguard Zombies team received a mountain of constructive feedback around the launch of Terra Meldicta. I guess if you want to call it that. As we digested everything, we heard from the community one request coming up over and over. The map's Egyptian and Dark Ether setting would make for a killer round-based experience. We agree. The team immediately shifted its full focus to the Archon for Season 5 once production of Shionuma was complete. This time around, the Sands of Egypt have been upgraded with a full slate of round-based zombies mechanics, an updated visual style, and new Dark Ether intel, and a slew of new secrets to uncover. And right here, the reason I want to point out this is that they're being honest with us. This is just Terra Meldicta round-based. That's what's going on here. They're not trying to dance around and saying, no, maybe it's something else. I don't know. Maybe no. This is literally Terra Meldicta round-based, which at least they're being honest. I think that's good. But what gets me really interested is this last one. I really think this is cool because what they say here is stop being highlighted. In addition to the new quest and narrative, Kortifex's last stand at the end of the main quest is unquestionably the crown jewel of the Archon. Rather than devoting valuable development time to additional features or more covenants, the team placed priority on creating a truly memorable boss fight on a scale rarely seen in zombies. We'll think you could agree if you could survive the trials. And right there is what I love to hear, because I know people are complaining about this being Terra Meldicta except round-based, right? I get that, but what I've been saying literally forever now, for the last month, is that, forget the whole map. The whole map, who cares? We know the map is never going to be great. We know the Easter egg is probably going to be simple, but one thing, if you could just focus on it being great, is that boss fight, because we know Kortifex boss fight is supposed to be powerful, and if it is, and if the boss fight is at least the one great thing about the map, I think that will make up for the rest of it because of what we know, Vanguard Zombies is. And if this is a banger of a map, or excuse me, a boss fight, I think that would make up so much for everything. Obviously, it's not going to make up for the full season of Vanguard Zombies, but I think it would be a nice way to end off a rather turbulent year of zombies if we get a banger boss fight, a top 5 boss fight. That would be really, really cool. But regardless, that's what I hope they're saying here, and I hope that's what we get. And I think this is also a new image here. I don't know. But regardless, we can continue. What this says here is gameplay improvements and buffs. For the first time in Vanguard Zombies, players will be able to wield 3 different wonder weapons in the same map: the classic ray gun, the returning Wonder Waff DG2, the devastating Decimator shield, and the devastating Decimator shield. We also are making some key updates to the Decimator shield and the Ultra the Covenants at launch. Thank goodness, that Decimator shield was terrible. After reducing Decimator blast down from 90 seconds to 60 seconds, which is insane, it was already at 90 seconds, but they said they're cutting its remaining timer in half, allowing players to deploy the Decimator shield blast every 30 seconds, which is still a long time, but at least it's not the original 90 seconds we had to deal with, which was annoying. Regardless, though, it says the Decimator blast will now have been buffed against the Sturmkriegers and Zabala the Deceiver, making Egypt's legendary wonder weapon even more formidable, which it's cool, I guess. Yeah, it's better be powerful. Anyways, the last thing is, in response to player feedback, the full section of all 3 Covenants will now refresh each round at the Ultra of the Covenants instead of every 3 rounds, which is a great change because, I never ran into this problem because I didn't ever try to go for high rounds, but I was watching people stream going for high rounds and they could just never get the right Covenants they needed. I saw somebody on around 150 or something like that, somewhere around there, and they still didn't get the Covenants they wanted. They were still where is it? Which is insane that was the case, and to do it every round makes that seem like it's much more or less likely to happen. Regardless, though, we do have stuff that we don't care about, so we're going to skip right over this. Also, it's saying that this weapon right here, again, not a wonder weapon, it's a EX1, which is just a thing from Advanced Warfare, and it's just coming back. But to finish this all off, and where it at least gets interesting, is these final 2 things here. And it says, as this chapter of the Dark Ether story wraps up in Vanguard's final season, the Zombies team will be stepping back into the shadows to focus on what's in store for the future. Sorry, no spoilers. Until then, we hope you enjoy the climax of Vanguard Zombies and everything Season 5 has to offer. And as always, we'll see you online. And right here, we hear Treyarch just kind of telling us that, hey, we're going to be back in 2024, which is always great to hear. And, you know, it's just going to be a while. It's going to be like 2 whole years till we get some more Treyarch zombies, which is going to be a long time, but hey, at least it's going to be coming back eventually, right? Hopefully better than ever. But the last thing I'll really say about here is that I think that we are going to see some sort of teaser at the end of all this for, you know, what's in store for the future, kind of like what we saw at the end of Cold War with, you know, a couple of different cliffhangers we were left off there. But I think we're going to see something else. Maybe it's going to be with something with the Zealot or something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Regardless, though, that's going to wrap it up for me. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on everything we've gone over here today. Is this something that actually excites you? Maybe the boss fight part? Because I know to me, if they could just end off with a boss fight, and I've already said this a million times, I think it would be more than enough to play this map just to get a really good boss fight. But we'll have to wait and see. Either way, tell me what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. But that's going to wrap it for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go and catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever the heck it may be. And laters, guys.